Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, Marianne's Mystic Mentions. I'm Marianne. Thank you for the new clients. I say clients because I'm a massage therapist, so they're my clients, you are my viewers. Thank you to new viewers that might be watching. I appreciate you greatly. There's so many different channels to tune into, so I'm honored and hope that you will enjoy what you are watching and what you are hearing. And I'll give you a rundown of exactly what that is. For those that are returning, you know I appreciate you very, very much. And I honor and appreciate your loyalty. It means a great deal to me. And I do want to say that right off the bat, as I am becoming more confident to do so, if you like what you see and you're liking the energy with me in any small way, and hopefully in a big way, that I would appreciate so very much you supporting this channel by liking and subscribing, sharing, or whatever you'd like to do, because I am absolutely on a quest to get my 1,000 subscribers this year. I've had this channel a lot of years. I had to stop it. I then restarted. It's a new brand. I'm more about energy and colors. I'm about the crystals, of course. I'm always about crystals and their energies and sharing that with you. I definitely, in the mystic aspects of Marianne's Mystic Mentions, I'm interested in all metaphysical things. But I've incorporated mentioning our chakras, which is such a vital and important part of each and every one of our bodies, then in turn our lives, and being the best we can be in all circumstances. And this is what I call my collective reading for the week for all signs. And I do a Celtic Cross tarot reading most of the time. I have changed that up as well. I do definitely change the decks. And so this is for the week of March 10th to the 16th. And this is March 10th specifically. And I normally have it out by now, but I had to miss last week's reading as well. It has been a very eventful March, ever since Mars, the very vital, important planet of motion and action and energy, absolutely about energy. It had been retrograde for about 2.5 months. And it went direct on February 23rd. Believe me, I was watching for the dates because I was fully affected by the retrograde. I think a lot of us that I've spoken to and done readings for fully agree, but it's building itself back up. That momentum is building and I love it. And we were able to change our clocks here in the Northern Hemisphere, which, I'm on the fence about still, but we need to do it regardless. And so we have longer days now, and it doesn't get dark till like 7:30 last night, and then it'll continue to get longer and longer, which instantly changes my energy. I don't know about you, but I absolutely love that. So I'm going to read some of the information that'll come off of my tarot reading regarding this week, which is extremely important. March in general is a month you will never forget in your lifetime. Okay, and I think it's going to be in so many positive ways. Just know I am definitely that optimistic person that when I hear about, oh my gosh, the power of this, I think, nope, that's not a fear trap for me. That is like an initiation to new beginnings, transforming yet again, which we do our entire life. March specifically for me, actually. As I look back in my life and the journals and things of that nature, it's a new beginning because it starts the astrology year, and the first sign of the zodiac, Aries, is extremely predominant in this month and moving forward for reasons we'll talk about as those times approach. But not to get too far ahead of myself, we are in eclipse season. It started. And the official changing of the nodes from North Node in Aries to South Node in Libra in the past 18 months has now gone into North Node Pisces and South Node in Virgo for the next 18 months. And so, what a difference in energies, number one. And know that if you have any placements in Pisces, Virgo, Aries, definitely, and I would say Libra, because, well, two reasons. Cardinal signs are very much affected by the Mars movements this year, straight up. I'll just leave it at that. I want to simplify things for people who have never heard anything I'm speaking of, so that I can introduce it to you, maybe instigate some excitement to want to learn more. There's amazing astrologists. I'm an enthusiast as far as an astrologist goes. I've been studying it for many years. I still don't call myself an astrologist, though. I don't do the charts. You can look those up very quickly for free. Just put in the data that you need on astro.com, or Cafe Astrology is a good one as well. And just find out all that more depth about yourself other than like your sun sign. But this is, like I said, a reading for all signs every Monday. So we have 2 retrogrades. We're already in the throes of Venus retrograde, and that is where Libra comes in, if you have placements in Libra, because Libra and Taurus, I should mention Taurus, are both ruled by Venus. So when any planet goes into retrograde, it is going to be about internalizing things and really, really sitting with your circumstances, your feelings, anything that the planet Venus has to offer, and it offers us a lot. It is a beautiful, benevolent planet, and it has to do with our beauty and our aesthetics and our senses, you know, anything we can smell, taste, feel, touch, and definitely our sixth sense for our intuition and so forth is very much heightened. And then also it has to do with relationships, very, very much with relationships, all across the board relationships. And I'm feeling like a lot of my viewers have already understood even before the retrograde, because there are shadow periods before and after, a lot of these issues that need to be worked through to better our situation, you know, in any way possible. Which is nice, right? It's not like anything to fear. It's knowing that it's something that's working for us and helping us get through, and conversations that need to take place in order to get to that better place. That's happening, right? And I think a lot of us have felt that prior to the actual retrograde. So the retrograde will last in Venus, Venus in Aries, actually. Let me make that clear as well. It is in the sign of Aries. I said there's a predominance of Aries energy. So the Venus retrograde starts in Aries. You know, the first planet I mentioned, the beginning of our spring, the spring equinox that's coming up in another week or so in Aries, right? This power, this confidence, this I am a leader, I'm a doer, I'm an innovator, I am here to express and move and motivate and all the wonderful things that, you know, all of us actually have within us. But when you have that energy working with us, it just exasperates it and really helps to build it. So yes, Venus is, you know, in Aries is opposition from Libra, and also the ruling planet of Libra. So it is about finding that balance and working with the energies to really just work through things once and for all, right? So when it goes direct, you feel far better about whatever the circumstances are. It could be work and a partnership at work, or a family situation, you know, rekindling, reconnecting, or releasing, you know, because that's where I'm getting to next. Along with this energy of Venus retrograde, we do have the Mercury retrograde, which is not a common thing. Venus only retrogrades every 2 years, but we have the 2 of them now. Mercury retrogrades happen 3 to 4 times a year. And that happens on the 15th, which is this Saturday. And so I always say the days surrounding it, the first couple of days, the day of the retrograde itself, and even 2 or 3 days after, are the most notable, maybe, you know, annoying, if you will, and confusing days regarding any retrograde in Mercury. And then the middle part can be pretty okay, you know what I mean, with a few offsets here and there. But then when it goes direct again, which will happen on the, what is that, the 7th of April, the days just before the stationing direct and forward, also the days that'll be more annoying and notably, confusing at times in all the areas that Mercury represents, which is transportation, communication, and technology. So I know I'm singing to the choir for a lot of you watching, but there are still people who don't know, although lesser and lesser, I've come to find out, which is nice because as a collective, we can understand then, oh, okay, this is how we work with it. Because the best part is there's beauty in every single aspect, in every full moon, new moon, moon phase, something we can get out of it that's super helpful. Even if at the time it seems as though it was difficult, right? We learn later, oh, thank goodness for that. And the difficulty ends quickly anyway, okay? So, well, that depends on you actually, but for the most part, it becomes history pretty quickly and you're up and moving on to your next adventure or inspiration and so forth. So the very important other aspect of this month is that we are in the eclipse, as I mentioned, and we have the first eclipse in the series of Pisces and Virgo in the sign of Virgo, full lunar eclipse on the 14th, the day before the Mercury retrograde. Full moons represent culminations and releasing of things once again. When it's in Virgo, this could have so much to do with your work situations. I mean, earth signs are very hardworking. It has to do with your tangible things you can feel, see, touch. The earth signs that are grounded, and that's anything in the earth plane, so that might be brought to your attention. Things that need to be done, need to be changed, and need to be released, right? Definitely it has to do with our health. And I love that one because I think we've all experienced health issues. And to me, I've always said it and I'll say it for the rest of my life. My wealth is in my health. So I had to stop my channel because of health issues. Things have come up in my life. Never saw them coming, but I'm so much healthier now. I took the time. I did what I believed the best thing I could do for, improving my health, which is such a great thing to know. We can always heal our health in so many ways, okay? And there are times when, of course, that isn't the case, but we're not talking about that now. We're talking about the benefits of when you release things that aren't good for you, like foods or addictions and, whatever they may be, mental, physical, spiritual, it's going to improve your health. All of those cater to our well-being and our holistic health for sure. So that's happening. And so I do want to say to you, if I may, I like to impart, things that happen to me and examples. But today, for example, which is the moon in Leo and the 10th of March, has felt really quite beautiful and quite peaceful, like almost, the calm before the energetic, notable change you will feel. Not that it's a negative, but it's an actual physical feeling, Eclipses are 10 times the energetic output that a normal full moon or new moon would be. And their effects can last upwards of 6 months or longer. So for the full moon, it's a really good idea to allow yourself, plenty of rest. I know I, for one, am one of the sensitive people in the world, and there are many of you watching right now, I know, that I always feel the gravitational pull from the moon. It absolutely does affect all of us in that way, in ways of maybe losing sleep. So knowing this, I do what I can to eliminate extra stresses towards the end of the night. Definitely calm myself. I do meditations. I listen to them. I love good music. I can always put myself in a more calmer state by doing that. These are just little ideas and references that have helped me along my path. And then also, absolutely hydration. I know it sounds like, oh no, not again, not the hydration thing. No, it's so important. The moon can, release that, or for so many reasons, it just does. And so making sure that that's intact, especially for your well-being and health, I think it'll make it just fine, and the information you receive is going to be exactly what you need to receive. So there's my spiel for now, which affects all of us, okay? And that's what this channel is about too, is just really sharing with you my knowledge to this point in my life and letting you know I'm a long-time psychic intuitive tarot reader that, I'm learning along with you, but I also know that I get definite downloads, and that will absolutely happen for all of you if you allow that and choose to have that. For all the readers and tarot and psychic, astrologists and all the other beautiful, gifted spiritual people watching this channel. Yeah, there's insights that'll come through with the reading in addition to the messages that are there for you. And although there are many that can be on any one card, I will share that with you as they come in. And we're going to get started. So I always start, like I said, with Spirit's message to you for the week about the specific chakra to keep in mind, okay? And this happened to be the solar plexus, which is, our confidence and our power. Very conducive for the Leo energy, which will be for a couple of days before it goes into Virgo, and then the lunar eclipse I spoke of. So yeah, keeping strong about that, recognizing your self-worth always, loving yourself, loving as many other people as possible, maybe putting out that energy will help to alleviate some of your stresses and some of your concerns, because when you're diverting it into a loving action, it's a beautiful way to heal certain feelings. I did forget to mention, so I need to say this. It's very important because we have the North Node in eclipse in Pisces, as I mentioned, for the next 18 months. And we're in Pisces season, so happy birthday to all the Pisceans out there for another week or so before it then goes into Aries season. But the Piscean energy, for heaven's sakes, it is such a beautiful energy. It is so creative, so loving, so heart-centered. So if you are an air sign like myself that thinks all the time and wants that to kind of stop, just remind yourself to drop your heart or your thoughts into your heart, okay? Because Piscean energy is guiding us and sharing and showing us that. It is definitely about your intuition, definitely about dreams that'll come to you that will be, giving you guidance and direction and prophecy, prophetic, answers to questions you may have. Always knowing you can help or ask for help because it's always there for us. And just knowing that many planets are in Pisces right now. So yeah, really holding on to your creative and imaginative side. All right. Now I will pick the chakra and then explain to you that I have this deck that I love that I pulled out, or I can do it while I'm shuffling. It's the movie tarot, and I hadn't brought it out in a long time, but I love it. I have the book just in case I don't recognize the movie stars that they reference for some of the the major arcana, which is so cool. But also just to say that when I was younger, I have a Pisces placement. So those with Pisces placements are really going to be feeling extremely affected. Not to mention, Neptune is still in the sign of Pisces until the end of the month, when it then changes after 14 years into Aries on the 30th. It stays there through October 22nd, and then it goes back into Pisces for a little bit, and then back into Aries for another 14 years. Huge transformation, power, strength with your dreams, with your ideas, with your creative endeavors, entrepreneurial, working with others, whatever it may be, and staying so true to yourself and with just so much love. And I remember going to movies as a child. I'm from a family of entertainers and musicians and actors and actresses and you name it. And we always went to the movies. My dad would take us on the weekends, for something to do. And then as an adult, I would take my children every week. I would go by myself, for heaven's sakes. There's that feeling of escaping right into the screen and becoming a part of what it is, or knowing I'm going to write a film one day, or a screenplay, or a book, or anything. Just really very strong emphasis on that creative part of yourself, and definitely spiritual. So I've shuffled these a lot. Oh, I love it so much because for my readings, I do change it up on occasion, but the gloves represents the energy along with the chakras. And the energy for me, most of my life, and continues to be, and certainly today, was the purple, which is the upper chakras, and that has to do with our intuition, our downloads with the crown chakra, our knowing, the 8th chakra being the all all-inclusive, you know, just all connected energy. And here it comes out. So thank you, Spirit. This one, though, actually is the 7th chakra, the crown chakra, that allows all this beautiful, beautiful energy from the full moons to the retrogrades to the Venus retrograde to every aspect of life, just to infuse us and to bring the best, you know, the best healing and possible, I want to say, outlooks that we can possibly allow. All right, because it really has so much to do with us. So the 7th chakra says, my divine eternal knowing is seamless with the creative force, love, and the intelligence of the universe. I am the essence of love personified. I think we mentioned this Piscean energy along with Venus, and just the fact that we all have desires and great love within us. We just simply do. And it's shown over and over again in our lifetimes. So I love that a lot. I think it's pretty glary. I apologize for that. Okay, well, I'm going to connect with that, this beautiful little saying that has to do with the appropriate chakra, which is going to be the clear quartz. The knowing that I always carry it in my pocket, actually, every day as a therapist, along with amethyst, and there's so many beautiful properties and energies that come from crystals. So with this full moon eclipse, that would be a beautiful time to put your crystals in a bowl and just let that moon just bring in all that energy, and it recharges them. So it's a really cool thing to do. And the words associated, once again, is wisdom, awareness, and focus for the crown. And the clear quartz is focus with clarity on my spiritual purpose. You know, just zoom in or write down or whatever it is what that means to you specifically. So I'm going to pull from this beautiful gift bag that has all the chakra crystals that came with it, and pull out the specific beautiful, you can see it's clear quartz. It's like a crystal ball, you know, it gives you all the insights you need to know when you look into it. It's everything in one. And the focus, that's very important right now. With the Mercury retrogrades, we can lose that because it does affect our thinking and cognitive and speech. And I've already, you know, stumbled over a fair amount of my words with you today so far. It probably won't stop, but I don't stop either. So please forgive me. And I don't do a lot of editing. I just want to be real and authentic to you and just speak, you know, as I normally speak. So this will go in here, and I like to wear this to infuse the reading to help me with that focus. And we're going to get on with the reading. So like I said, it is the Celtic Cross, and I am using this beautiful movie tarot deck. So tarot, I say it tarot a lot of times, but, or tarot, I say, no, you know what? Let me just pull the cards. Less is more right now. All right, I did actually shuffle these. And I always ask for clear and concise messages for the highest good of everybody involved, and bless the cards and decks and my spiritual guides and angels that help me with this reading. So the first card is going to be the center card, which is really the focus and the main energy of the reading. And so the first one we have for the collective reading of March 10th through the 16th, 2025 is death. Wow. I don't know. I mean, first and foremost, just know death is not ominous. It's just such a wonderful thing to see, and especially in this week. It's so perfect. It is about the changing and the renewing. It's the transformational card. It represents Scorpio, a water sign, which is very, you know, the sister, brother, water sign to Pisces, which is very prominent right now. And it's digging deep. It's a very intense water sign in the way that we like to really go deep into our psyches and into our hearts and souls to really discover and recognize the things that are so important to release, which is what I mentioned many times now will happen with this Virgo lunar eclipse. and feeling really, feeling so healed and at peace with that. Death is, of course, I mean, everybody dies, and we know that, and it is not morbid. It is absolutely as much a part of life as it is life itself. And so, it's just knowing that it is a number 13, right? And that equals 4, and that's actually stability. This card doesn't represent it, but in the Rider-Waite-Smith, there is a sun in the background. So it's like, after you let go of the difficulties and the pain or the suffering or the grieving of having lost somebody already, like this is something that's clearly already happened, there's just this beautiful feeling of renewal and like spring and all the new things coming in this month that you'll feel very, very, I would say excited about, with that Aries strength and confidence. So that is the first energy. I'm just going to try to make as much room as I can for this. Okay. Then we have the crossing card, which can be the blessings or blocks. Blessings. A new word. Knight of Cups. Aw, I love that. Now, I don't know who this actor is. I would love to look and see, or maybe even this one. Let me double check this for you, okay? If I may, because I'm not good at that, and I'm thinking that the glare is just not great for you, and I apologize, but maybe one of you out there can recognize before I let you know and I look it up, because I'm fascinated. And when I went to the movies, it's been a while now, I didn't mention that. I have not been able to do that as much, just a whole different changing of the guard that way. But so a lot of the actors I don't know, and some of course I do, because they're historic and they've been around. They're legends, if you will. So the death is, where's that death? Okay, I'm sorry. First of all, my glasses, which are on, are not the best. Okay. Keeping it moving, keeping it moving. 13, coming up. 13. That's too far. I've skipped one page here. Okay. Generally, it says the person, Jake Gyllenhaal. Okay, Jake Gyllenhaal, and I don't know what he played. There's some movie he was in, apparently a frightening one, and I don't know what it is, but you probably do. Anyway, I love it. So, good old Jake Gyllenhaal. And then to cross that, Knight of Cups. Well, listen, the cups represent love. They represent harmony. They represent creativity. All the things we spoke about with Pisces, and as well as the Cancer and Scorpios. And so maybe you're very familiar with this particular energy. You have it in your own chart. You are with somebody and you're feeling all the love you could possibly feel. Your cup runneth over. The Knight is the messenger. So if it's not happening yet, something's coming through, okay? And with these changing, and eclipses bring people in and take them out equally as quickly. And I don't mean specifically through death. It is a death of sorts, but I mean, they move away. They're just like they're here and they're gone, you know? Some people aren't meant to be in our lives forever. I've certainly found that throughout the life I have lived. But the cups, the Knight of Cups, represents the cup that has to do with your feelings, your emotions, your love, definitely your creativity. And, you know, we have Mars in the sign of Cancer right now. It did go direct finally, as I was mentioning. The momentum is building, and it'll be in Cancer through April. Can't remember the exact date. And when it then goes back into Leo for a couple, 3 months. I mean, power, you know, getting that momentum, getting your things. Cancer is the cardinal sign that ushers in summer. So between now and summer, building and recognizing very strongly this love that's becoming bigger and more real, and maybe a new commitment or something of that nature, or love of your job, or love of yourself, or love of your, you know, your next project. You see where I'm going with this. So I like that a lot for you. you know, and that's this transformation that comes from the death, and it just starts this whole new process for you. I was going to look up the, I don't think that they have the actors in the minor arcana, so the court cards. Okay, no, I'm wrong about that. I'm sorry. I'm just going to do it because I'm fascinated with this deck. As soon as I said that, I noticed there was a lineup. Okay, so for the, that is, oh no, it doesn't say the person. Basically, it just says, the knights represent young people, dynamic, adventurous, chivalrous, romantic, definitely intuitive, revolutionary energy, creating movement and change, exquisite, goal-oriented, expansive and goal-oriented. Kind of all the things we've said, yeah? With being a cardinal and all. Excuse me, I'm moving the camera just a bit for you. It looked a bit tilted. So, yeah, that's awesome. Moving along, we have the foundation card, which is, of course, extremely important in all areas of our life, because without a good foundation, things will fall, like the tower representation of things, you know, needing to change just because it's not on steady ground, you know, in all aspects of life yet again. So you have, for your foundation as a collective, for this week, which is a big one, Two of Swords. Well, there's the air element, okay? That's the Venus in retrograde. That is Libra, Aquarius, and Gemini. Actually, Jupiter's in Gemini, and it went direct last month, and it is going to stay in Gemini through June 9th, when it then goes into Cancer. But Jupiter is all about expansion, and depending where Gemini falls in your chart, it will let you know, or your whole house tropical astrology depiction, if you will. And so that's something you can look into as well. This is 2 representing a partnership, perhaps, or absolutely 2 choices. You know, maybe being a little stuck on where to go and which way to go. That's not uncommon for air signs, because we think a lot and we want to think of every single angle and, you know, possibility. Certainly Libras, you know, the decision and indecision is our noted, you know, I guess, lower energy. But really, we just want to look at things in all ways before we make that final decision. Because once we do, we're good. We stick with it. But know that, number 1, there's no need to rush. Number 2, any guidance you need can be given. All you need to do is ask. And number 3, you can definitely listen to your higher power and self and trust in your answers and your direction. When you take one away, it becomes the ace. It's a beginning, it's clarity. And I would say very strongly, once again, those things will happen much more easily, I believe, once the retrogrades are direct motion in April. And even more so after the shadow period that follows it. So that's your foundation. You have a couple of choices. You are not yet ready to make that final choice, and that's fine. I like the balance of the 2, though, you know, and the fact that you have options is always really a good thing, too. And so moving on, we have then the recent past, and you have the 6 of Wands. Wow, well, that's fantastic. That is the victorious card. That's usually depicted on the Rider-Waite-Smith deck as a man or woman riding on a horse, you know, and they're in their community, and they're being seen, and they're being recognized, and their accolades are, you know, notable, and they're getting attention, they're getting rewards, they're getting perhaps, you know, promotions and things that you've maybe waited for, you know, any one of you out there. And it does represent the sign of Sagittarius, which is a fire sign, okay? And that's really good with a lot of the energies in Aries. That's a very complementary sign for this time, as is Leo. Even through the, you know, the delays and the postponements and the struggles, it's a really wonderful energy. And it's, once again, the confidence and power needed to continue to succeed. So that's already happening. And so we'll go into your possible present, this moment. And that is going to be the Knight of Wands. Wow, 2 fiery elements. So it goes from the 6 to the 7. And the 7 is defending yourself. But this is the Knight. So the Knight of Wands is the fastest moving knight. It's the second knight in the reading. And it has to do with messages once again. The first is about your heart and your feelings and your creative abilities. The second is about your motivation, your action, your spirit, your drive, your energy, which I told you is building for all of us. So be prepared for some quick answers, some excitement, absolutely having to do with, just fired up. Yes, let's make it happen. This great, we're letting go of this so we can start that new beginning. Okay, fantastic. Fire wands. Then we have basically your immediate future. And that is the 10 of Cups. Oh my gosh. I love it. I mean, that is the ultimate. And the thing about the 10 of Cups is, of course, it is the cups. It is the Piscean energy of the Pisces and the Sagittarius ruled by Jupiter, the benevolent, it's going to happen. This optimism, this positive, and which, by the way, truly, truly works. Maybe not on your timeline, but if you believe in something enough and you absolutely see it, visualize it, write it down, it does occur. And I mean, it's happened to me in the last month. And these have been things I've been asking and wanting for decades. And they're happening. So, and it's exactly the way that it needed to be, as far as timing. And I understand that so well. And to me, I always say the rest of my life is the best of my life, and I'm a lot older than most of you watching. So it feels good to say that and to really, truly believe it and feel it. But this is that. It's exactly that. And, yes, it can be money. It could definitely be that. It could be fulfilling your cups in any way that works for you emotionally, spiritually. You put the title on what that does mean for you. But family, I mean, there's a family sense that's very strong during this time, and the Piscean energy as well. It's love of, and anything and anyone can be your family, right? I have my beautiful furry son. Since my sons have grown up and gone away, he's as much a family member as they are. And, that's all part of it too. So that's absolutely beautiful. It's individual. Now we're going to do the stem. I'm going to move it over just a little bit. And to finish the Celtic Cross reading, I will finish with a couple of also oracle messages. Thank you once again for those tuning in. If you're just tuning in now, I appreciate you so much. I love what I do. I'm passionate about it. I will never stop. And in fact, I want this to be the predominance of what I do when I retire from being a massage therapist, happening in a couple of years. I know it's something. It's something, but it's very much in tune and synchronistic with what's happening, right? And it's been one of the best experiences of my life. It'll be 25 years at that point. So this will be the actual, I like to call it your specific viewpoint on life, on, situations happening both internally and externally. I call it the peripheral card, where you can, how you're feeling about just, I guess, all things, right, at this time. And you have the King of Coins. Oh, with Gene Wilder from The Chocolate Factory? I hope I'm right about that title. I certainly saw this many, many, many moons ago. But what a great deck. King of Coins, boy. That is the word is not coming to me. I wanted to come up with a really special word, but it is the epitome of feeling your wealth. And I did mention it could definitely be about health, with the healing aspect of this wonderful Virgo full lunar eclipse happening on the 14th. That'll happen for months, and answers to questions that you couldn't pinpoint before because it was just not coming to you. And that will happen for a lot of us. And I hope I'm included. There's still some diagnosed things that I'm working on for myself in a natural way as much as possible. It's another thing about Virgo is the natural tendency to be able to heal ourselves through natural ways. I'm not a physician, I never claimed to be. I'm a tarot reader and, as I said, metaphysical enthusiast that likes to share information and entertainment and so forth. And actually some real downloads. So yes, the King of Coins, it's a maturity, it doesn't have to be a man, of course, but that feeling of you've come a long way, you've worked for these things, you've got your feet planted in the ground. It isn't earth energy once again, the coins or the pentacles. You feel like you have enough. You feel like you want to share. You feel like you want to give. The Piscean energy, once again, what you give will always come back tenfold. That's how you feel. And even those of you saying, I don't know what you're talking about. I've been laid off like so many people and I feel for you so much because it happened in my family. But knowing that there's always something coming through. There's always an answer and you're better off for it in some way or form. So then the next one is your actual, I would call it the environment message. And that is going to be the 10 of Wands. Okay. So with this 10 of Coins and the money and the accruement of all the things that matter, there was a lot of energy. That's that water, that's that fire energy again, and a lot of responsibility. The 10 is about cycles ending for new ones to begin. And perhaps in a lot of ways, myself included, you are realizing that, you know what? I'm just at that point in time or that age in life or that new thought process that less can be more, if you really think about it. And knowing that if you are able to even cut back just a little bit and delegate some of your responsibilities to somebody else for the mere fact that you can give yourself a little bit more rest to rejuvenate and build yourself up and give you the physical and mental and, holistic aspect of everything you do at a place that feels, grounded and more at peace, then this is exactly what you have to do. And I think you welcome it, quite frankly. It's like, what? I hadn't thought about that. That makes so much sense, and it ends up being so much easier, but that's what will happen from these beautiful energies that are going to come through for us. And I can't say specifically, obviously with a general reading, you can always get a reading with me. Now, I say that because I do them in person, and I guess right now still, it seems to happen a lot, but I'm convinced it can change. But what I wanted to say is you can always contact me with my website, which is one of the links below, at Pure Massage Therapies. I do them in person, but we can work something out so that I could send you the video or something of your own personal, and we'll talk everything else that way. That's the link right now. If you're interested, please let me know. I would love to do that. That's absolutely my goal, is to do as many readings as I can. So there's that, your environment, okay? Don't overdo it, especially for health reasons and mental and all that, but to know that you really don't have to. Look at the sun coming up. Look at that brightness and that feeling of, oh my gosh, I've just realized something that I had not before, and you've got a lot of fire, a lot of energy of this area is coming through. We all will feel that. This new surge of strength and confidence coming through. Then we have your hopes and fears and the Hangman. Well, that's Pisces. Now, the Hangman is, once again, it's about waiting. It's about not feeling rushed. It is definitely spiritual. This person is not uncomfortable whatsoever. This is hanging from the tree of life and learning and allowing and taking the flow, which Pisces loves to do, the two fish, going in two different directions, and just allowing the insights to come through. I can find out who that actress is. It's number 12, right? So that's a 3, and that's about growth. Absolutely. And just know that there's a halo here. That's the guidance that you always have, that protection, your guardian angels, your spirit guides, whatever you want to call them, your higher power, for heaven's sakes. But this feeling of bliss and letting go and not being so filled with worry or concern and what ifs. Okay, so that's the hopes and fears. So try that sometime. If you feel like I have to be in control because I'm the only one that can, is responsible for my income and my bills and all that, and I'm that person as well. Have been for many years, and it just works out. It's been tighter for me though, you know, and maybe it is for you right now. Don't fret. Fully trust. Everything has a transitional time. You know, this is being so clearly pronounced in the reading and in the messages from the moon and the energies, okay? We'll end with the outcome card, and that is Judgment. Whoa! Gosh. So how many major arcana do you have? You've got two beautiful, three, I apologize. Death. I love 3. That's growth and expansion, working with others, you know, collaborating and mastering your craft, and allowing the input of other people as well is very crucial, I'm hearing. But Judgment, look at that. It's already been designed. It's karmic. It's absolutely destined. And like I said, I think a lot of you know exactly what I'm talking about. A lot of you made these choices yourself, okay? It shows in other depictions of, like the writer Waite Smith, of, you know, souls and people rising from the dead, if you will, rising from this boring, dead, routine kind of feeling in your life where you're like, I'm done with that. It's time to be the phoenix. The death of the phoenix and the transformation, you know, which is Scorpion, known for one of the most transformational signs in the zodiac. You know, starting over, knowing it's my turn again. It's exciting. It's actually really exciting. Think back how many times you've done it in your life. Wow, what a beautiful outcome card. What a beautiful reading. I'm very enthralled with the fact that it has a lot to do with the energies. The Aries I mentioned, definitely Libra, definitely Pisces. And just, you know, and absolutely, you know, the cardinal aspect of Capricorn, which is, you know, one of the earth signs. Venus ruled Taurus is there. And Virgo, the eclipse. I mean, it couldn't be more really synchronistic if you think about it. So let me finish with a couple other messages, if I will. I'm going to pull about 3 from the Wisdom of the Oracle, one of my favorite decks. It's really beautiful. I have a lot to choose from, and I'm going to start pulling out, I think I mentioned with the retrograde influence, I suppose, a lot of my older decks that I have not used for a while. Wow, that was misplaced. Okay, and I look forward to doing that because I've had them for a while, and I don't even think I've used a couple of them. They were gifts from one of my brothers, actually. Gosh, what would that be, like 7, 8 years ago now? And so I'm excited. That's kind of a new thing. Even if I've had them and I haven't used them, they're new. You can never have enough tarot decks. I'm just saying that. I cannot wait to design my own one day. It's in the making, like everything. It's part of the whole, what do they call that? Where you make a list and you hope it happens. Bucket list. Oh gosh, that's right. Please let me fulfill my bucket list before I kick the bucket, as it were. So I'm going to pull 3 right off the bat, okay? And I'll just give you the message as far as the energy and the words involved. This has come up so many times. You saw me shuffling. Regeneration. It's time. It's time for the changes. It's time for the transformation. And it's nothing to be afraid of. Just sit back and remember how you were as a child and like, oh my goodness, I get to go into a new grade. I get to go into a new teacher. You don't know them, but you're excited. You're growing up. You don't allow those fears to come in a lot when you're younger, and that's the truth. Be that childlike wonder and dream of everything you can imagine. Write it down and then make it happen for yourself. It can happen throughout your entire life. And 46 equals a 10, which is the beginning, right? Very beautiful. Then we have thinker. Okay, and nothing wrong with that. Especially when you have delays and you have nothing better to do. Just write out and think things through. Maybe write a book. Start a book you want to write. Do me a favor, though, and as a Libra myself with, 4 planets in Libra, please don't overthink. Okay, this is a time to kind of let go, as I said, and get into the heart. And the heart is the smartest organ in our body, the most intuitive. And it will not lead you astray, and it will give you answers. Just ask for it, okay? And then lastly, here and now. There's nothing more powerful than being in the here and now. I don't know, yesterday's gone, although in my memory, and tomorrow I have no idea about, but I do know about this moment. I know about you. I know I love you. I know I appreciate you being here with me. Do like and subscribe and help me with this channel to grow. It's free. It's so supportive, and I love it dearly. And I'm being more Aryan about it, please. You wouldn't know if I didn't tell you. So many people watch. I did the same thing. They like somebody, they feel this resonance, they're understanding. It's like it's written, not written, but being spoken to you specifically. Let me know, okay? That's such a great honor to me and very, very helpful for my growth. So I'll put this back, but I am going to finish with the one that I've loved and I brought out for all of the monthly readings, which you might want to check and see if you have not. In all of your signs, your sun, moon, rising, Venus, definitely Mercury with the retrogrades, they're all out for March. So in closing, let us talk about love yet one more time, the most important thing in life. All forms of love, certainly self-love. This one came out before, I'm going to read it again. Love is the medicine that accelerates healing. How perfect is this? It is a time of healing. And love absolutely heals everything, even if it's saying goodbye so that you can carry on and love yourself even more. And the people that need to live their life and be free and say, yes, go on and be happy, and send them off with great caring and compassion. Love yourself, love your neighbor, love your enemies, but begin with self-love. You cannot love others until you love yourself. You cannot share what you do not have. If you do not love yourself, you cannot love anyone else either. I did not understand that for so long. I thought, love myself? Please love yourself. It's such a beautiful thing, and it opens your heart so much more. And it really makes you understand what loving is fully about. And you really should love yourself, because why not? You deserve it. And, you want to treat yourself well. You want to talk to yourself well. And just watch and see what happens. Greatly appreciate you. Have a beautiful week, okay? I'll be back next week because I know it's going to be good, but let me know. I'm very nosy and I really want to know, and I always respond. And thank you for your time. Take good care. Bye for now.